But we're going to take a look at X and Y intercepts. So under the tab X and Y intercepts, pause the video and copy this down. Make sure you copy it down exactly. So all those points, that graph, exactly as you see it. So pause the video and really count. Go ahead and copy that down as well. We're going to find the X and Y intercept as well as the coordinates for each point. So let's start with an X and Y intercept. What is an intercept? So an intercept is where it crosses. So an X intercept is where it crosses the X axis. A Y intercept is where it crosses the Y axis. So look at this graph right now. All right, let's talk about the x-intercept. We're going to draw the x-axis so we can see where this line is crossing it. So we're going to draw the x-axis, which is a horizontal line, and then we're going to take a look at where the line is crossing that. So I'm going to trace it with my finger, so just pay attention. It crosses right there. That's where it crosses the green line. So count that. That's 3. That's the x-intercept, where it crosses the green line. So the coordinate at that point is, remember, you have to put x and then y, will be 3. And then what's the y coordinate? You don't go up or down, so what's that? 0. The y-intercept, where it crosses the y-axis. So we're going to draw a vertical line. This is a listening check. Put a box around example 1 in blue. And we're going to trace where that line crosses that blue line. Bam, right there. So it crosses at, and if we're going down, it's negative. So it's negative 3. Crosses at negative 3. The coordinate, in terms of x and y, you have to put x and then y. So the y is negative 3. And then the x, left or right at that point. You don't go left or right. It stays right there, so that's 0. Let's take a look at another example. So where does it cross the x-intercept? So again, go ahead and draw your horizontal line. You want to trace it, crosses right there, count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it's going left, so left is negative, right is positive. So what's that coordinate? So it goes x and then y, so it's going to be negative 6 first. And then what's the y coordinate? We don't go up or down because it's right there on the line exactly, so that's 0. Go ahead and draw the y axis, so a vertical line. Where does that line cross that axis? Crosses right there, so count. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So negative 6 because we're going down. And then x and then y would be negative 6 is y. And then do I go left or right? No, I'm right on the line, so that's going to be 0. All right, so a couple of things. What do you notice? Look at the y coordinates right there. What do you notice? That they're both 0. So when we're looking for the x-intercept, the y coordinate is always going to be 0. So your x-intercept, y is equal to 0. Let's take a look at your y-intercept. So if your y-intercept, what do you notice? X is always equal to 0. So on y-intercept, x is 0. All right, so let's find using equations the x and y intercept. So now using that information, I know that if I'm finding the x-intercept, y is equal to 0. So that's going to go away. So I'm just going to cover it because anything multiplied by 0 is 0. So I'm going to cover it and rewrite the equation. So it's going to be 5x is equal to negative 8. This is a listening check. Underline x-intercept. What about the y-intercept? Well, at the y-intercept, x is equal to 0. So anything multiplied by 0 is 0. So I'm going to cover that and write what's left, which is negative 4y is equal to negative 8. Draw a river, solve the equation. So we're going to get x is negative 8 over 5 and y is equal to, a negative divided by a negative is a positive, because remember that's a regular face, so that's going to be 2. So let's write down the steps of what we just did. Step 1, x-intercept, cover up y. That's what you're going to do. And for the y-intercept, cover up x. Make sure you write and there. This is a listening check. Circle the number 1. Right, and what do I mean by that? For the x-intercept, this is how I remember it. Just solve for x. And for the y-intercept, solve for y. That's how you remember it. Step 2, rewrite the problem. And if you don't rewrite it, you won't get a 0. Step 3, solve the problem. Step 4, plot the points and join the x and y intercepts if you have to graph it. So let's do a couple more examples. This time we're going to graph it. All right, so let's look for the x-intercept. Cover up the y. So go ahead and cover up the y, including the symbol. Rewrite the problem. So that's going to be 3x is equal to negative 15. All right, for the y-intercept, cover up the x. Solve for y. So y equals negative 15. All right, let's solve this. Divide both sides by 3. So you have a negative and a positive. What kind of face is that? It's an unhappy face because it's got a black eye, right? So it's going to be negative 5. And y is already solved. So that's my x and y intercept. So it says plot the points and join them. So let's plot it. X is going to go as far back as -5, and Y is going as far back as -15. So I'm just going to go in 5 just to make this simple. So -5, -10, -15, -5, -10, -15, 5, 10, 15, 5, 10. Let's plot that. So the x-intercept is where it crosses the x-axis, right? -5. The y-intercept is where it crosses the y-axis, -15. So you plot that, and you just join the two lines and graph it. Let's take a look at one final example. So again, the x-intercept, solve for x. So you cover up y, and then write it down. This is a listening check. Put a box around the red x-intercept. Equals -4x plus 4. And what's on the other side? Because it has to be something, nothing. So what number is that? 0. So I'm going to move the -4 to the other side. What happens when it crosses the river? It changes to positive. So it's going to be 4x equals 4. Then what am I going to do now? Divide by 4 to get x on itself. So it's going to be x equals 1. For the y-intercept, you're going to cover up x and solve for y. So cover up x, and I have y equals 4. And that's already y equals, so I'm done with that. Now to graph it. X needs to go to 1 and y needs to go to 4. So I'm going to go up in ones. So I'm just going to go as far as 4. Just try and equal space it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, -1, -2, -3, -4, -1, -2, -4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And just plot it. So x is where it crosses the x-axis is 1. So go to 1 on the x-axis, draw a point. Where it crosses the y-axis is 4. Go there, draw that point, and then join the 2 points. And that's it. Let's practice.